Hi, Alex.
Jake,
Recaps here
recaps
today.
here.
I am going to explain a
Today,
movie
I am
called
going to
Kidnap. Carla
explain a
Dyson
movie
is a
called
waitress at an
Kidnap.
inexpensive roadside diner.
Carla
The girl is
Dyson
in the
is a
process of a
waitress at
difficult
an
divorce and is
inexpensive
awaiting a
roadside
decision on
diner.
the custody of her
The
6-year-old
girl is
son
in the
Frankie.
process
Coping
of
with
a
her duties,
difficult
Carla
divorce
serves
and
customers
is
in a
awaiting a
cafe. Some are
decision
very
on the
pleasant and
custody
polite
of her
people, others are
6-year-old
impatient
son
with the
Frankie.
staff and try to
Coping with her
demonstrate their
duties,
superiority.
Carla
Carla
serves
is supposed to
customers
finish
in
her
a
shift
cafe.
and go with her son to
Some
the
are
park
very pleasant and
for the
polite
carnival,
people.
but she has to
Others
keep
are
working,
impatient with
distracting
the
Frankie
staff
with
and
drawings
try
and
to
various toys,
demonstrate their
taking orders and quickly
superiority.
serving customers. She
Carla
can't
is
possibly
supposed
please
to
one of the
finish her
girls. She
shift
treats Carla
and go
with a
with her
certain
son to the
contempt
park
and
for the
constantly tries
carnival,
to spur the
but she
waitress
has
on.
to
Carla
keep
tries to
working,
react to this calmly
distracting
and remain
Frankie with
polite, but at
drawings
some
and
point an
various
inadequate
toys.
girl infuriates her, for
Taking
which she
orders
receives
and
a portion of
quickly serving
unpleasant words in
customers,
response.
she can't
Upon
possibly
learning that her
please one of the
co-worker is
girls.
already on the way,
She
Carla
treats Carla with a
happily
certain
hugs her
contempt
son and
and
reports that her
constantly
shift has
tries
ended
to
safely.
spur
On the way to the
waitress
park,
on.
boy constantly asks
Carla
about where
tries
is
to
his father
react to
and
this
why he is not
calmly
with
and
them, but
remain
Carla has
polite.
nothing to
But
answer.
at
She
some
knows that her
point,
husband
an
has a new
inadequate
lover
girl
and pretends that she is
infuriates
still
her,
doing well
for
with
which she
difficulty holding
receives a
back tears. The
portion of
girl focuses
unpleasant
her
words
attention
in
on her son
response.
because he is the only
Upon
and most
learning that
precious
he
thing she has.
coworker
After
is
ignoring the
already
ice
on the
cream
way,
vendor and
Carla
face
happily
painting,
hugs
Carla
her son
suggests
and
attending
reports that
the
her shift has ended
concert and
safely.
returning to the vendors.
On the
After the
way
next
to the
song, boy
park,
loves to play
boy
hide and seek
constantly
and
asks
constantly
about
plays with his
where is
mother,
his
but now
father
she is not up
and
to
why
it.
he
Carla's
is not
phone
with
rang
them.
and she needs
But
to answer
Carla
as it's
has
a lawyer
nothing
about an
to
upcoming
answer.
court hearing. The
She
husband
knows that
insists
her
that the
husband
son
has
grow
a
up with
new
him as the
lover
man has a
and
good job
pretends
and
that
will be
she
able
is
to give
still
the boy a
doing
better
well.
future. Carla is
With
extremely
difficulty
outraged by
holding
this
back
because she also
tears,
has a
the girl
permanent job
focuses
and
her
she is
attention on
Frankie's
her
mother,
son
which means she can
because he
take
is the only and
care of him.
most
Talking with a
precious
lawyer,
thing
she
she
constantly
has.
calls her son to
After
come to her.
ignoring
At
the
some
ice
point, the
cream vendor
conversation
and
with the
face
lawyer is
painting,
interrupted due to
Carla
the fact that the
suggests
phone is
attending
dead.
the
Carla
concert
returns
and
to receive
returning
and
to the
sees that her
vendors
son has
after the
disappeared. A
next
frightened
song.
girl runs around the park
Boy
looking
loves
for
to play
Frankie,
hide
and
and
once in the
seek
parking lot
and
sees a woman
constantly
pushing
plays
him
with
into
his
a car.
mother.
Runs to her
But
and
now
knocks on
she
the
is not
window
up
trying
to
to free
it.
her son. But all
Carla's
attempts
phone
are in
rang,
vain. The
and she
kidnappers
needs
leave
to
and the
answer
girl
as
is
it's a lawyer about an
forced to rush
upcoming
to the
court
car to
hearing.
start the pursuit. In the
The
confusion,
husband
she does not
insists
notice
that
how
the
the
son
mobile
grow
phone
up
has
with
fallen
him,
out and
as
goes
the
in
man
pursuit
has
of
a
the old
good
green
job
Mustang. The
and will
driver
be
is
able to
clearly
give the
inadequate
boy
as
a
he
better
arranges the first
future.
accident. Not having time
Carla
to
is
leave the parking
extremely
lot of the city
outraged by
park, Carla
this
is forced to
because
break
she
the rules
also
in
has
order
a
to go after
permanent job
kidnapper. At one
and
of the
she is
traffic lights, she
Frankie's
stops
mother,
behind a
which
Mustang
means she
and
can
tries
take
to ask
care
for
of
help
him.
from other drivers, but
Talking with
she
a
is ignored
lawyer,
and the
she
kidnapper
constantly calls her son to come
continues
to
to
her.
drive, not responding to
At
the
some
requests of
point,
the
the
waitress. Back in the car,
conversation
she
with the
tries to
lawyer
catch up
is
with the car and
interrupted
sees
due
that it
to
has
the fact
disappeared.
that the
Girl is
phone is
disappointed
dead.
and asks the God to help
Carla
her and do
returns to
everything so that
receipt
she does
and
not
sees
lose the
that her
child. So
son has
Carla sees the
disappeared.
green Mustang again
A
and she is
frightened
trying to
girl
catch up with
runs
him when
around the
suddenly car
park
pulls
looking
down
for
onto
Frankie,
another road. Girl
and
missed the
once in the
turn, so she
parking
was
lot,
forced to stop
sees a woman
abruptly
pushing
and
him
back out in
into a
order to
car.
go the other way. She
Carla
arranges
runs to
another
her and knocks on the
accident,
window,
but there is
trying
no
to
time
free
to
her
think about
son.
it because
But
little
all
Frankie
attempts
needs
are
to
in
be saved.
vain.
Passing by a
The
car with an
kidnappers
open window,
leave,
Clara
and the
asks to
girl
call
is
the
forced
police
to
as she
rush to
doesn't
the
have a
car
mobile,
to
but the
start the
man can't hear
pursuit.
her. The kidnappers
In the
decide to get rid of the
confusion,
crazy
she does
mother who is
not
chasing
notice
them.
how the
Opening the
mobile
trunk,
phone
a
has
plump
fallen
woman throws
out
wrenches
and
and
goes
other
in
tools out
pursuit
of
of
it
the
and then
old
throws a
green
car
Mustang.
tire into Carla's car. This
The
provokes
driver is
another accident.
clearly
But
inadequate
despite the
as he
ongoing
arranges
horror,
the
girl
first
must continue
accident,
the pursuit.
not having time to leave the
Few minutes
parking
later,
lot of the
Carla
city
turns on the
park.
radio in the hope that the
Carla
host
is
will talk
forced to
about the
break the
accident
rules
and the
in
chase
order to
taking
go
place on the
after
streets of the
kidnapper.
city. There is no
At
information
one of
and
the
police do
traffic
not know about
lights,
her
she
problems,
stops
so she can
behind a
only rely on
Mustang
herself.
and
At one
tries to
point, the
ask for
kidnappers
help
open
from
the
other
window and
drivers,
threaten Frankie
but she
with a
is
knife, demanding
ignored,
that Carver
and the
leave them alone. The
kidnapper
woman tells the
continues to
girl to take
drive,
the other road,
not
and she
responding to the
immediately obeys
requests
the
of the
command as soon
waitress.
as she sees that the boy
Back in
is
the
again in
car, she tries to
mortal
catch up
danger.
with the
Carla
car
realizes that
and
she has
sees
lost
that
her
it has
son, but is not
disappeared.
ready to put up with it. She
Girl
looks
is
at a childhood
disappointed and
photograph of the
asks
boy
the
and vows
God
to
to
save
help
him no
her
matter
and
what it
do
takes. Girl
everything
gathers her
so that
thoughts
she
and
does
pulls
not
off the
lose
road
the
to start
child.
chasing the green
Soon
Mustang again.
Carla sees
Resuming
the
the chase,
green
Carla
Mustang
hears a new
again.
announcement
she
that
is
the
trying
cops
to
have spotted
catch
a
up
red
with him,
Chrysler
when
committing a
suddenly
series of
car pulls
infractions. She
down
believes
onto
that they are
another
talking
road.
about her car. But
Girl
she is
missed the
mistaken
turn,
because law
so she was
enforcement
forced to stop abruptly
agencies have
and
already
back
detained the
out in
violator.
order to
Carla
go the
does
other
not know
way.
if she can pursue
She
criminals for a
arranges
long
another
time and records
accident,
important
but there's
information
no
on her
time to
son's
think
recorder.
about
At
it,
some point she
because
decides to
little
listen to
Frankie
old
needs to
records
be
and finds
saved.
her son's last
Passing by a
conversation with the
car
woman
with
who
an
kidnapped
open
him. She
window,
deceived the boy into
Clara
the
asks
parking
to
lot,
call
saying
the
that his
police
mother was
as
there,
she
after which
doesn't
she
have a
pushed him into
mobile.
the car.
But the
By
man
force, a
can't
minute later,
hear her.
Carla sees
The
that the kidnappers
kidnappers
have
decide
slowed
to
down.
get
The
rid
reason
of
for
the
this
crazy
was
mother who is
the
chasing them.
policeman, whom the girl
Opening
also
the
noticed
trunk,
in the
the
rearview
plump
mirror.
woman
Trying to draw
throws
attention to
wrenches
herself,
and
she
other
turned on the
tools out of
emergency
it,
lights and
and
began
then
to wag
throws
the
a
car.
car
Soon the
tire
patrol
into
approached
Carla's
Carla and
car.
demanded to stop. She tried to
This
explain
provokes
that her child
another
was
accident,
kidnapped when
but
suddenly a green
despite the
Mustang ran
ongoing
her car,
horror,
trapping a
girl
policeman
must
between two
continue the
cars. As a
pursuit.
result of the collision,
A
Carla
few
and the
minutes
criminals
later,
drove off the
Carla
road.
turns
Trapped
on the
Mustang
radio
spun
in the
around,
hope that
and
the
the
host will
policeman
talk
was
about
badly
the
hurt and
accident
unable
and the
to get
chase
up.
taking place on the
At some
streets of
point,
the
one of the
city.
kidnappers got out of
There
the
is no
car and ran rushed at Carla with a
and
knife she
police
passed
do
back
not
but
know
does not
about her
want to retreat
problems,
and again
so she
drives
can
closer,
only
almost
rely on
crushing the
herself.
criminal. Girl is ready
At
to give
one
cash and
point,
credit
the
cards if only
kidnappers
the man
open
would
the
return her
window
son
and
to her. He
threaten
takes the
Frankie
wallet
with a
and goes
knife,
into the car. A minute
demanding
later
that
the second
Carla
door
leave them
opens,
alone.
but it's not Frankie
The
who
woman
comes out,
tells the
but a
girl to
nasty
take
lady.
the
She
other
demands
road,
$10,000 from Carla and promises
obeys
to
the
return her
command
son if
as
she
soon as
fulfills
sees that the boy is
their demands.
again in
Trusting the
mortal
girl
danger.
unlocked the doors and began to
Carla
obey all the
realizes that
instructions
she
of
has
Margot.
lost her
Carla
son,
follows
but
Mustang
is
and
not
hopes that
ready to put
everything
up
will
with
be
it.
resolved safely
She
as
looks
soon as
at
the
a
car enters the
childhood
tunnel.
photograph
Market
of the
attacks her
boy
and first
and
hits
vows
her in
to
the
save
head
him
and then
no
tries to
matter what it
strangle her with a
takes.
seatbelt. Carla
Girl
manages not
gathers
only
her
to fight off
thoughts
the
and
insane
pulls
woman
off
but
the
also to
road
push
to
her out of the
start
car. An
chasing the
accomplice
green
was waiting
Mustang
for her
again.
at the exit of the
Resuming the
tunnel, so
chase,
the girl put
Carla
on
hears
Margaret's
a new
shirt and
announcement that the cops have
signaled him to
spotted
keep
a
going on.
red
The bridge Market's
Chrysler
accomplice
committing a
noticed that she
series
was
of
not in the car.
infractions.
Opening the door, he began
She
to threaten
believes that
Frankie,
they are
demanding
talking
girl
about
to
her
stop. She
car,
released the
but she is
kidnapper and having
mistaken
met fishermen on
because
her way
law
asked to call the
enforcement
police.
agencies
Finding
have
herself at a
already
crossroads,
detained the
Carla chose one of
violator.
the three roads and
Carla
continued
does
to
not
search for
know
her son.
if
A
she
little
can
later, she
pursue
noticed smoke
criminals for a
caused by an
long
accident
time
on one of the
and
neighboring
records
roads.
important
Arriving at the
information
scene,
on
girl
her
found
son's
the
recorder.
kidnapper's car, but
At some point,
he
she
fled with her
decides
son.
to
Once in
listen
Chester,
to
Carla
old
went to the
records
police
and
station and
finds
told
her
about
son's
what had
last
happened. The sheriff
conversation
promises to
with
help
the
her and
woman who
announces a plan
kidnapped
to
him.
intercept. Having calmed down,
She
a girl
deceives
calls
the
her
boy
husband and
into the
tells about
parking
what
lot,
happened here. She
saying
notices
that
a
his
stand
mother
with
was
dozens
there,
of missing
after
children.
which
Their
she
parents were
pushed him
waiting for
into the
help from the
car by
police, but
force.
law enforcement
A
did
minute
nothing,
later,
realizing that the
Carla
same
sees
fate
that the
awaited her son.
kidnappers
Carla
have slowed
decided to
down.
continue her search,
The
driving
reason for
around the
this was the
central
policeman, whom the
streets
girl
of the
also
city. Girl
noticed in
notices
the
that the
rearview
kidnapper
mirror.
has thrown away a piece
Trying
of
to
clothing
draw
by which he
attention
could
to
be
herself,
identified. Nearby,
she
she
turned
notices a
on the
black Volvo
emergency
and
lights
realizes
and
that her
began
son
to
is there. She
wag the
blocks the
car.
kidnapper's car
Soon
and
the
causes an
patrol
accident,
approached
but he manages
Carla
to
and
escape. On the way,
demanded
the
to
criminal
stop.
knocks down a
She
passerby
tried
and
to
Clara is
explain
forced
that
to
her
arrange
child
another
was
collision in
kidnapped
order to stop an
when
oncoming
suddenly a
car and
green
save the
Mustang
girl.
rammed
When
her
she gets
car,
to the highway,
trapping
she
a
notices that the
policeman
police
between
have
two
announced a plan
cars.
to
As a result of
intercept
the
the green
collision,
Mustang, but this
Carla and
information
the
is not
colonels
up to
drove
date,
off
which
the
means they
road.
will not help her. Soon the
Trapped,
kidnapper tries
Mustang
to open
spun
the door
around,
again to
and the
blackmail Carla.
policeman
She
was
does not allow
badly
this
hurt
and
and
pushes the
unable
car in
to
front
get
of her
up.
several times,
At
not
some
allowing her
point,
son to be
one of the
threatened. At some point,
kidnappers
Carla
got
starts
out
to
of the
fall
car
behind
and
and
rushed
lets go
at
of the
Carla
criminal
with
as
a
she ran
knife.
out of gas. A man
She
riding
passed
behind
back,
stopped to help. He
but does
suggests
not want to
contacting the
retreat
police
and
rather
again
than going
drives
after the
closer,
kidnapper, as
almost
there is a
crushing
dead
the criminal.
and he will not
Girl
go
is ready
anywhere.
to
At the
give
same
cash
moment, a
and
black
credit
Volvo
cards
grabs a man's
if
pickup
only
truck.
the man
Carla
would
realizes
return
that
her
the
son to
driver is
her.
dead and runs to
He
the
takes the
kidnapper's car.
wallet
The
and
son is
goes
not
into
there,
the
but the man
car.
is armed
A
with a
minute later,
shotgun
the
and wants to
second
kill her.
door
Carla
opens,
locks herself
but
in her
it's not
car, but the
Frankie who
criminal
comes
breaks
out,
the glass
but
and
a
tries to
nasty
get her out.
lady.
Grabbing his hand, the girl
She
takes the
demands
car off the handbrake and it
$10,000
rolls
from
into a ditch.
Carla
As a
and
result
promises
of a
to
collision
return
with a
her
tree,
son
the
if she
kidnapper, whose name
fulfills
is
their
Terry, died.
demands.
Carla
Trusting, the
searched him
girl
and found papers
unlocked the
showing his home
doors
address.
and
It turned
began to
out that he
obey
lives a
all
couple
the
of miles from the
instructions of
accident
Margot.
site and most likely hid his
Carla
son there. With a
follows
shotgun in
Mustang
hand, Carla
and hopes
finds
that
Terry's house
everything
and
will be
inspects it. A phone
resolved
call forces
safely.
her to hide as Margot
As
has
soon as the
returned
car
home and is
enters the
demanding double
tunnel,
fees from the
Margot attacks
intermediary
her
who
and
sells the
first
children
hits
due
her
to
in
the
the
hardship
head,
which
and then
Carla has
tries
made.
to
As soon as the
strangle her
woman
with a
leaves, girl
seatbelt.
calls the police and
Carla
asks for help.
manages
Hearing
not
a
only
noise,
to
she
fight off
finds
the insane woman,
the dog
but
and
also
closes
to
the
push
door.
her out of the
Continuing her
car.
conversation with the
An
policeman,
accomplice
Margot
was
tried to
waiting
make a
for her
parallel
at the
call and
exit
heard
of the
that someone
tunnel,
was on the
so the
line.
girl
Returning
put
to
on
the house, she
Margot's
found a
shirt and
shotgun and
signaled
noticed
him
the
to
absence
keep
of a
going.
telephone. Guessing that she
On
was
the
not
bridge,
alone in the house,
Margot's
but it was not her
accomplice
husband.
noticed
Terry.
that she
Margot
was
gets
not
into a
in the
pickup
car.
truck and leaves.
Opening
Meanwhile,
the
Carla
door,
finds her
he
son
began
and
to
two other
threaten
girls
Frankie,
locked up on the
demanding
second
girl to
floor of the
stop.
barn. The mother
She
tries to
released
widen
the
the hole in the
kidnapper
floor
and,
and
having met fishermen
breaks
on
the
her
pipe
way,
to get her
asked
son
to
out. The
call
girls are
police.
afraid to follow, but
Finding
Carla
herself
promises
at
to
a
come back for them.
crossroads,
Margaret returned
Carla
home from the
chose
scene
one
of
of
the
the
accident
three
where she
roads
found
and
Terry's body.
continued
She
to
loads
search
the
for her
shotgun
son.
and orders the dog to
A
grab
little
Carla.
later,
Girl and the
she
child are
noticed
hiding
smoke
underwater,
caused by
but
an
dog notices
accident
them
on one
acting
of the
bravely. The
neighboring
distraught
roads.
mother pushes Margot into the
Arriving at
water
the
and
scene,
throwing a rope
girl
from a
found the
lantern around her neck
kidnapper's
holds her
car,
with
but
foot.
he
woman,
fled with
is
her
unable
son.
to float and drowns, after
Once
which
in
Carla
Chester, Carla
returns
went
to the barn
police
to help the
station
girls.
and
Here she is
told
found
about
by a
what had
caring neighbor who
happened.
heard the shots. He
The
offers to help,
sheriff
but the girl
promises
is
to help
confused
her
by his
and
knowledge.
announces
Carla
a plan
realizes
to
that this is
intercept.
Margot and Terry's accomplice,
Having
so she
calmed
kills him
down,
with one
girl
blow of a
calls
shovel.
her
Frankie and the two
husband
girls
and
are
tells
rescued.
about
The
what
kidnappers are killed, and the
Here
police
she
arrive on the
notices a
scene. And here
stand
movie
with
ends. Thank you
dozens
for
of missing
watching, and
children.
see you tomorrow at the
Their
same time.
parents were waiting for help.